short-lived state called the Anglo-corsican Kingdom, the time where the Corsicans last had notable independence. So anyways, it was a state that existed more or less between 1794 and 1796. Sort of depends. Kind of where the government left or when the French finally invaded, and it was basically where the king, where the king, King George III, was like king of Corsica, whilst there was like a president, sort of like an assembly, elected assembly in Corsica, and as you can see, the over here you have the English coat. Well, yeah, the English coat of arms, basically showing you that the kingdom was clearly a British like protectorate, dominion. Over here, you over there, over here you have the Corsican flag, and over here you have the size of the kingdom. Anyways, a bit of background, by the way. Before this republic was proclaimed, actually there was a prior kingdom, but it only lasted like a few months, and it was actually like a German kingdom. But anyway, it was defeated by the French and the Genoese. Anyways, this man Pasquale Paoli, actually ended up defeating the Genoese, and for a long time, for like, yeah, 1767 officially, it was actually like the lead, like made Genoa like an independent state from Genoa. And anyways, he was actually a very, very liberal politician, very liberal person. He was actually basically the first person to let like universal suffrage, and also he sort of let women vote. Not entirely sure how they voted in the National Assembly, but it was sort of traditional for women to vote in locally. So supposedly women also voted. So sometimes it is considered the first country to let women vote and so on. Anyways, the Republic was very, very liberal, and a lot of important philosophers, as you can see here, Voltaire and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, very important. It got sort of inspired out of this man, Pascal Paoli. Anyways, he ended up losing Pascal Paoli, but didn't really matter. Like he ended up losing years later, but he really changed Corsica really. And basically, the last years of the Republic were found by a French invasion into the region. Basically, when Genoa was finally conquered, the British were the ones who suffered the most. Like they were really affected by the loss of Genoa, because it was actually, they were quite connected. They weren't officially allies, but Britain had real interest in them. And as you can see, Corsican crisis severely weakened the Grafton ministry. It was actually, I believe, a Whig ministry, and they blamed Grafton a lot for it. Like they really did not like how they lost Corsica to the French and strengthening the French. But anyways, over here I'll show you. Give me the ink, please. Here's Capria. The Corsicans invaded Capria, taking it away from the Genoese in 1767. And because of that, the Genoese finally sold off Genoa to the French, and that made the French go all the way from over here to Genoa. And I think they went into Bastia, or these like in the north, till they finally got to more or less over the Battle of Novo. Anyways, this republic was actually very, let's say, it actually spoke Corsican and Italian, so no French or anything though. Anyways, by the way, in the continuation of Corsican sovereignty, Pascal Paoli returned by the time the British. Pascal Paoli was in France, and he was a staunch supporter of the French Revolution, until they decided to cut off Louis XVI's head and his wife and everything else relating to anti-monarchism, pro-republicanism. So he sort of aligned himself with with the monarchists, even though really he wasn't a monarchist. Anyways, he ran off to Corsica and proclaim independence, and to sort of maintain that independence, he wanted to sort of become an autonomous dominion to Britain. So anyway, the kingdom did not last long at all, because it was quite unstable between the British and Corsican administration. But it was sort of useful for Britain for the early years, and Britain didn't actually consider defending it very well. But they ended up leaving, and that was it. Like it didn't really last. It only lasted 2 years, but it at least shaped Corsican history in general, because basically one of the last times Corsica ever got to have their own independence, sort of, um, and so on. So Pascal Paoli was really, really an important man for Corsican history. Like, he liberated Corsica twice, and one of them for a long time before the French came in and ruined everything. And by the way, the flag I meant to put on the Battle of Ponte Novo was meant to be the Bourbon monarchist one, but I just left it with a normal one. So anyways, this is just a bit of history about the Kingdom of Corsica, the the Anglo-corsican, and I didn't really get into the German, when some German Theodore the First became king of Corsica. That not really important, but it sort of brought the stages into the establishment of the kingdom. Anyways, hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next well, not really documentary, or next sort of Wikipedia based video, or just like a normal gameplay one.